Let's see what's new on the Monster Mill.
So we have Vectric here. It's what I use to create my G-code. And what I've done is I've drawn the bottom plate. So this whole thing represents the bottom plate. This line here and this line here represent the distance between my slots on the mill. Actually, these three lines do. And you can see that this hangs past the edge. So unless I put a slot in here, I have no way of getting a screw in place. That allows me to select my tool that I'm going to use. And I selected a 12 millimeter end mill. All right. And it said it was going to do it in 6 passes. And I thought, you know, I'm not in a hurry here, so I want to edit that. So I told it, let's do 1 pass per millimeter, 22 passes in total. All right, and set that up. And so that'll give me the, let me pin this. That'll give me the 22 passes on here. I want to cut inside these lines, so I tell it to calculate. It's warning me that it's going to cut through the material. And so now it's generated the tool paths for me. And I want to verify that they look good, so I am going to tell it to preview all tools. And I've got it slowed down just to kind of show you what it should be doing. So it's making a movement. It's cutting on one side, coming around and cutting on the other. And it should not touch both walls at the same time, so I should get a good clean path using conventional cutting, which should eject the chips pretty well. And once that's done, I'll be ready to bolt this back onto the table section and then bolt the table section down. And as I said, I could have done it more aggressively, maybe 2.5 millimeters per pass. But I've been out of practice with machining heavy aluminum, and I didn't want to take a chance on messing it up. I'm not really in that big of a hurry, so there we go. Now, first thing I need to do is I've got this plate fairly lined up. It doesn't have to be like down to 1/1000 of an inch. I'm just cutting some slots in there. The next thing I need to do is make sure that it doesn't move. And if you haven't seen it before, these are the parts of a clamping kit. So there's a T-slot nut, which looks like this. It goes into the slot like this. Then the next thing that we have is the little staircase. It sits like this. Then this bar sits on top of it like that. And you always want to make sure that the bar is slightly facing downward. Then you put the nut on there. And you tighten it down. And I need to raise this up a hair. There. So now the force is downward. Okay. So I've got my wrench. And I'll tighten them down evenly. Alright. So now it's not going to go anywhere when I'm cutting into it, because I'm going to be cutting a slot here, 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 and here. So the next thing I need to do is I need to align my tool with this corner. So I'm going to go do that next off camera. I don't mind telling you, I've been cutting with little 2 millimeter bits that are about like that big. And this thing here is a razor sharp single flute 12 millimeter bit. It's just freaking scary, man. So it's been a while since I've cut big stuff. So, but gotta be done. So now what I got to do is I've got to set the 0 on this Z-axis. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. That should be good. I'm going to touch it off to 0. And then I'm going to raise the table up. And that's how I'm going to set my 0 point. Alright, so I've got my mist coolant ready. So that'll keep it cool. Bring that down and put it close. I'm going to set the feed override to about 30%. I'd rather do it a little bit slow and ramp up speed. Put my hand over to E-stop and rock on, baby. This is enough for tonight. I've got it mounted down here. It is not going anywhere. And I had some little magnets, so I stuck them in here to hold the wire down. It's kind of crazy, but it'll work, at least for now. So that's it for this video. I'm going to come up with something that I can machine, and we'll see where that takes us. So thanks for watching.